So, you're thinking about buying a Hyundai Kona N, but all the reviews online are people that have owned it for a week, a month, maybe it's a reviewer that's only had it for a couple minutes, and you're trying to understand more about the ownership experience in this car. Well, I got your back. I've owned this car for a couple months and over 5,000 miles. And there are a bunch of things I love about this car, but there are also some things I don't. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the 5 best things about the Hyundai Kona N. And in the next video, we're gonna talk about the 5 things you should know before buying a Kona N. Let's get into it.
First thing that I love about the Hyundai Kona N is the styling. This charming, aggressive-looking subcompact SUV hits the mark when it comes to design. While the base Kona has tons of black plastic cladding, the Kona N looks purposeful to the mission that the folks over at the N Division have for this vehicle, which is an aggressive back-road carver that is fun to drive. The red styling, the purposeful arrow, all of it comes together to create a cohesive looking sporty subcompact SUV that, because I've lowered it here, now it just looks like an awesome hot hatch, which I love. The diffuser, the spoiler, everything about the design of this car really just strikes a nerve with me. I think Hyundai absolutely nailed it. Now, because this is a subcompact SUV, you do have a wide opening for the trunk. And while it's not the biggest space, and you might find more space in something like a Civic hatchback, because this is a hatchback, it is very easy to fit large things in. You can accommodate 4 carry-on bags without any issue. So while this might not be the largest trunk that you find in this segment, cars like the Civic hatch will have a bigger trunk. All of it is usable here, and the seats fold, giving you even more space, which is really, really nice. Now, the next thing that I love about this Kona N is the layout of this interior. The buttons, knobs, and switches. The buttons, knobs, and switches. Look at this steering wheel. There is no capacitive button that if you hit another key, changes the function, making it immensely confusing, forcing you to look down. No, you have an N button that puts it in a sportier mode. You have a volume switch. You have more buttons for your cruise control, for your lane keep, for your phone. Everything that you want to do is a button, which makes it remarkably easy. This center infotainment is a wide, vibrant touchscreen that is very responsive, but you also have buttons for quick navigation to your map, to your media, to your setup, a programmable star button, which I have set up to go right to my N mode. You have a volume knob, you have a tune knob, your heat is controlled by a knob, your fan speed is controlled by a knob, your heated seats are a button, which is hilarious that I have to call that out, because cars like the GTI exist where you need to hit 2 buttons in the infotainment in order to get your heated seats, not in the Kona N. Everything is laid out just how you would want, making this car remarkably easy to use. And oh, by the way, a car that will not be aged out technology-wise, because buttons will always work, unlike those capacitive switches in a GTI. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the power plant in this Kona N. 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque, and observed 0 to 60 by car and driver of under 5 seconds. This engine, combined with that limited slip differential, combined with these brakes, combined with that transmission, make for what is one of the most engaging drivetrains in this segment. This 2-liter turbocharged engine with 289 torque provides an immense level of thrust early on. You get a great sound from that variable exhaust. The corner carving limited slip differential does a great job at pulling you out of corners. This overall package is just dynamite. It is so fun to drive. The experience of the Kona N is one that you'll be, honestly, tough to find under $36,000, which leads me to the last thing that I love about the Kona N, and that's the exhaust. Let's take a listen with the valves closed, which happens in eco or normal mode, or N mode if you turn the valves off. nice tone, not too loud, not too aggressive, but enough to let you know it's still there. But then when you open the valves, it's deeper, with more burbles, more rasp, more just aggression. The duality that the Kona gives you in this class is unparalleled. You can be rowdy and have so much fun, or not.
Final thoughts on the Hyundai Kona N and the 5 good things I love about this car. It was really tough to pick the 5 best things. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of good things going on with this Hyundai Kona. From the exterior appearance, which not only stands out from a crowd, but looks damn good while doing it, especially after you lower it and put some wheels on it. From the motor, which the motor and the transmission are phenomenal. You have adequate levels of power. This dual clutch transmission is snappy, and then you have the limited slip diff, which works tremendously in back road applications. This car doesn't really feel like an old school front wheel drive car that maybe you were aware of or familiar with from like the 90s or the early 2000s. The interior is also very well set up. While some of the materials are a little scratchy and a little hard plastic, you have buttons and knobs and good material where you want it. There's no capacitive buttons like the new GTI. There's no BS capacitive buttons like in all the new Audis. No. You have buttons where you want them and knobs where you want them. A volume knob, a knob to control the temperature, a knob to control the AC, a tune knob, all of that just how you want it, and it'll age very well because of that. In addition to all of that, you have a car that at the end of the day is still a compact SUV. So because this is a compact SUV, you do have a wide opening in the rear. You have seats that can fold flat. You have the capacity to fit a good amount of things in here. Now, you're not going to fit things like you would in a RAV4 or in a small pickup truck, but hey, it's a lot more practical than something like an Elantra N or even a WRX, thanks to the wide opening and the ability to fold those seats down. Overall, the Kona N is a good place to park your dollars. While it might not depreciate like a Toyota Land Cruiser or a Jeep Wrangler, the fact of the matter is you're going to be buying a car that's relatively reliable, decent on gas, and is tons of fun around town with the duality thanks to that variable exhaust from the factory that give you the rowdy fun pops and bangs when you want them and the quiet reserved car when you do as well. I'm Money Shift. Don't forget to stay tuned for next week where we talk about the things we do not like about this car. No vehicle is perfect, and the Kona N is no exception. We'll see you next time.